Hello there. This is MadAsgardian. Streaming, hopefully, maybe, possibly. Maybe, a little bit. Not sure, first time. Just bear with me. Oh, there's people I see, yes. You'll have to forgive me, I don't have a second screen, so I'm having to use my iPad, so... But this is going to be a slow-paced game anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, so this is going to be Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. I've done a few videos on Tex's channel, and, I just, it's Saturday, I think. I don't know, maybe. So yeah, so I am going to click this. And click this. And click this, and then we should be good. All right, we are good. So yeah, so this is Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. You can play it in a browser, which is what I usually do. I can actually just show you real quick. Oh yeah, F11. All right. So the nice thing about doing it in a browser is it tracks all of your stats. So here's all this information, which you'll probably never need. But some stuff's interesting. Like here it shows my first game online was 2014, which is a while ago now. And most recent game was today, right? Yesterday? I have no concept of the date. So the nice thing is it keeps track of all your wins. So here are all my wins over the years, starting in 2017. So you can see I started in 2014, first victory in 2017. So yeah, it's a really hard game, I would say, especially if you try to kind of go into it blind and don't go on to the Reddit page or watch tutorials, because there's a lot of stuff that if you don't know what you're doing, you'll be immediately massacred. So yeah, so that's the stats. So you can also play with a sort of like a downloaded exe if you want. That's the other thing I wanted to say. But I do it this way, and it's a slightly different interface. It's a little bit more mouse friendly. So I play on the Kelby server, crawl.kelby.org. And then you can see here are all the people playing right now. You can play the latest version, which just sort of as they're tweaking the development, you can play the latest tweaks there. And then every once in a while, they'll sort of call it a set version. You can play that. And then depending on what server you play on, you can play, various different versions, which can be nice if they like get rid of certain spells or backgrounds or classes. You can still play them. Same with the downloaded version. You should be able to find different versions pretty easily. And then there's various kind of forks that other people have made, like changing various things. I've never really gotten into those. So anyway, we will play Trunk just to get the latest stuff. All right, so your two big choices here, your species and your background. And you can actually, if you hit space, you can kind of decide which one you want to start with. And once you choose one, it sort of will tell you, hey, since you've chosen this, here's what you should probably consider playing as. So for streaming, I'm probably going to stick to Magic because it'll be more exciting, and probably shorter games because they'll die horribly. So Deep Elf, and they'll kind of give you some indication of what you're getting. The simple classes over here are a good place to start. Deep Elves have a strong affinity for all kinds of magic, but are very fragile. And then if you wanted to actually check that, you could come down here to the aptitudes, and then it's going to show you what your skill aptitudes are. So if we look at Deep Elf, -2 to armor, +2 to dodging, +3 to stealth, -2 to shields, -20% to hit points. So we're obviously not really good at fighting. So here's all our fighting stats. Fighting -2. That's kind of like overall fighting ability and hit points. -3 for maces and flails, -3 for pole arms. If we come down to magic, you know, all our magic is mostly high stats. So yeah, so that's what we're gonna do, is a deep elf. And then so here it's showing us, yeah, you may want to consider magic. So even though every magic background is suggested, basically. And they call it background instead of class because it's really more of a starting kit. I mean, I could start out as a wizard, but if I found like a +12 battle axe on level 2, I could stop training spells and start training axes. But, you know, as a deep elf, I'm probably only going to get so far with minus 20% hit points and poor, you know, poor skilling for weapons. But, you know, it's something you can do if you want. So let's see, what do we want to be? We can just go over these real quick. Wizard is sort of like a generic, they call them hedge wizards now, which annoys me because I had a wizard victory, now I have to get another one. Sort of like general, your book has a little bit of everything in it. Conjurers kind of focus on blasting. Summoning is fun. I've been getting into these lately. You just summon various horrible things to fight for you. Necromancer, you can, you know, obvious. And then these are just kind of, you'll get a book that's focused on a specific school, like fire, ice. Where this comes into play is you'll want to train, like, to get your spells more powerful, you need to train, you know, ice or fire or conjurations. So if you start as a fire elementalist, it kind of focuses you in fire. And I mean, you could pretty much get through the whole game as a fire elementalist if you wanted. Something like Venom Mage or an earth elementalist. Venom Mage, you're probably going to need to beef it up somehow. So yeah, so again, this is just like starting stats. So we could do, hello there. We could do summons. I was going to do something maybe a bit more exciting, but we could do summons. So yeah, summoners are able to cast summon small mammals from the start and begin with other summoning spells in their library. Summoners especially, you want to look at playing different versions because they'll add stuff and remove stuff. Like there used to be different tiers of demon summoning. They've gotten rid of that. But they've added some spells. So we could do summoner. Do we want to do, well, I'll just play the latest version just so you guys see the latest game. No, I'm not communicating. Stream shut down. Go away. All right. So here we go. So we're going to take a look at our spells. So we start off with summon small mammal. So, well, let me slow down a bit. So, so I know I've been playing this for close to 10 years now. So I know a lot of the keyboard shortcuts and stuff. So to look at our spells. So if you play the EXE version, I think it's a bit more mouse friendly. There's like some extra junk on the side. So to look at our current spells, we're going to hit Shift-I. And your summon small mammal, it's telling us it's type summoning. That's the skill it uses, the failure rate, and the level. So if I want to take a look at it, then we can hit exclamation to toggle between these. So the power, it's pretty good, you know, because it's a first level spell. Damage, these aren't really irrelevant because it's not, you know, like fireball. And then if we go to Shift-M, so here's the other spells in our starting book. Call Imp, Call Canine Familiar, Summon Guardian Golem, and Lightning Spire. But we'll look at those as we go. So I have spell levels left, but these are all level 2, and I'm level 1, so I can't learn any of them yet. We'll look at our skilling if we hit just lowercase m. So it'll kind of start you out. There's two different modes. Auto, which kind of like as you use things, the skill will go up. Like if you cast a lot of spells, your spells will go up. If something tries to hit you, your dodging or armor might go up. But generally what you want to do is in manual. So you're sort of deciding what gets trained. So you don't need any dodging right now. So generally you want to start off like learning things to help you kill things better. So it's got spellcasting, summoning, and stealth. Sometimes I'll get stealth up to 3 just to give me a little bit of extra survivability. We're going to focus on summoning, which gets our summoning spells up. And spellcasting helps you a little bit with casting spells, but mostly just governs your magic points. So we definitely want to get that up. So one nice thing you can do is you can set targets for these. So if you hit enter, or equals, sorry, and then pick a letter. So for spellcasting, I want to get that up to 5. Summon, so I'll get that up to like 8. And then stealth, get it up to like 3. Otherwise, it just kind of runs in the background and you have to check it every now and then. And I'm going to focus summoning, so more of our XP goes into summoning. So just hit F, and it kind of, you can kind of toggle it through off, on, and focused. So all that out of the way, here we go. So here's a bat. So going to hit Z and summon small mammals, the only spell I have right now, so it should just cast it. So I'm summoning a bat and a quokka. Quokka's about the best mammal you can get. It is a pretty, you can take a look at it. If we hit X and then V, say a pesky little marsupial that is a bit like a rat, not quite. So about 5 HP, some AC, some pretty good EV. Hits for 5 damage. That's kind of recent, telling you the actual damage it does. So anyway, so we killed him, so off we go. So here is a... Hello, everybody. It's an endoplasm. I think it's just a slime, really, but we will see if they can take care of him. And Jesus Christ, that's fucking loud. Anyway, so yeah, so we murdered him. And here's a scroll. We'll probably grab some scrolls and then we'll identify them later. Most things you get are, some things you get are unidentified. So I'm gonna summon some more mammals, small mammals. They're gonna hopefully take out this python. So you used to be able to summon up to 4 small mammals, but they pretty much cut the summon level for everything. So that again is another reason why you may want to play an older version of the game. Like if you really want to spam summons, you may want to play an older version. So yeah, so anyway, on we go. These guys can be kind of tricky, especially for magic users, because they're fast and they hit reasonably hard. And if you ever want to know, you can just hit X and then click V and it'll kind of tell you about it. Jackal, blah, 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 5 hit points, really good evasion. It's fast, so you can't really run away from it. Something you'll want to get used to in Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup is running away from things. But these guys you can't really want to run from. So I'm just gonna slowly go backwards. And then if I just want these guys to fight and stay where I am, I can just hit this period key, and that just kind of moves time forward a little bit. Come on, you stupid quokka. Okay, so I'm gonna summon something else. Oh, he just died, so just gonna wait. We'll wait. This is what you do as a summoner. You summon things and hide behind them. Kind of same with a necromancer. Oh, yep. Here, let's die on level 1. That's good. Stream canceled. So right now these guys aren't really doing anything. I can also give them some orders. So if I hit T, this is shout, orders for allies. So we'll do A, attack new target, and choose him. And he is asleep, so hopefully they will just, oh, he woke up. Probably because I yelled. So they will move in and start to fight him and kill him. So now we're at half health, so if I just hit the 5 key, it's going to rest until I get back to full health. That's a good way to get your health and your magic back, especially as a spellcaster, you're worried about your magic. So here is another sleeping foe. This is a Cobalt. Small grayish creature, blah blah. Not much HP, good EV. Small for 1 damage plus its dagger. And it actually showed you that it's fighting my 2 quokkas right now. All right, get him. Oh, see, now this is not ideal because I don't have something between me and the Cobalt, so he should take care of him. All right, there we go. And we reached level 2, which means we can learn spells now. So he dropped a dagger, so you can see things that are here, +0 dagger, Cobalt corpse. So if I hit the comma, I'll pick up the dagger. If there's multiple things, it would be a screen to give you an option. And so to wield it is a lowercase w. Shows currently we're unarmed. So we hit D, and so now we have a dagger. Ideally, we'll find one with a better one. Just summon a couple more guys. All right, so he's dead. So we're level 2, so we can now learn a new spell. Hello everyone, hello everyone. So if it's Shift M, we can see that now Call Imp is white. So it's level 2, I have enough spell levels for it because it's 2 spell levels. And I'm that level, and it's got a low failure rate, so I'm gonna go ahead and learn Call Imp. It's gonna ask me, do you wanna learn it consuming 2 spell levels and leaving 4? So yes. So now I can summon imps. Again, I think imps you can only summon 1 now. You used to be able to summon, I don't know, at least 3 or 4. So sometimes when I play Summoner, I do want to go back and play an older version, but it's fine. So what we summoned was a Crimson Imp. These are they're kind of the worst ones. They just kind of blink around and hit things, and they're not super reliable when you want to kill something. See, he's not really helping me. He's way over there because he's an asshole. Another Crimson Imp. Get this Hobgoblin. Food used to be a consideration. You see these bodies laying around. That was removed a little while ago. So especially for spellcasters, the spells also had like a hunger level. So the more powerful the spell and the lower your level, the more hunger it would take. But that's gone now, so you can just blast whatever you want. They're still used for necromancy though. Alright, so we have max summons. We have 2 hobgoblins coming. We should take care of them with 2 quokkas. Alright, so we got some gold. Here's some stones. If we were going to do a sling, we'd probably start grabbing those, but I don't think we're gonna. Dwarves don't have good slaying aptitudes. We'll send them down there to take on that ball python, so he leaves me alone. Yeah, so he's constricting him, so we don't want that. Alright, so I guess we can try to hit him a bit. So we got a couple scrolls now and some potions. So yeah, so the first few levels are kind of, that's kind of what it's like. There's nothing super threatening, but when you're a deep elf with 15 hit points, pretty much everything is somewhat threatening. So yeah, these are all scrolls and potions. When you pick them up, until you've identified them, you don't really know what they are. They used to be the case for equipment, but now it's pretty most of the time you know what it is when you pick it up. Okay, so he is a Shadow Imp. He is a lot more useful. He actually fights and has good HP and EV, and he casts Pain. Hello there, hello there. I may have said dwarves. Yes, we are deep elves. There used to be are deep dwarves? Yeah, deep dwarves are still in here. So yes, we are a deep elf. It's a dungeon crawl stone soup thing. So they're fighting. There used to be different kinds of elves. There's like a high elf, which was kind of more like a Tolkien elf, but they got rid of him. Okay, so we hit level 3, so now we can learn level 3 spells, and we can choose a stat increase. So obviously, being a magic user, we're going to choose intelligence. So our int went from 19 to 21, and our magic points are up to 10, which is nice. You get certain items to boost your magic points too. Okay, we've got another Shadow Imp. So I'm gonna hit 5 to rest. So you can kind of inch around with the arrow keys. With these early levels, if you just hit O, it's auto explore. So it kind of looks around until it says like, oh, you run into a creature, like here, or it's kind of automated. It just kind of removes some of the tedium of the early game. Thanks for stopping by. I will try to read the chat, but I have one screen and an iPad, so if I ignore you, it's not intentional. So we're gonna, okay, so we are done with level 1, and you'll know you've explored everything if you see 3 down staircases and 3 up staircases, and the ones you haven't gone down have that little asterisk in the upper left corner. I'm going to take a look at our inventory. So we have 4 unidentified scrolls and 3 unidentified potions. I think we start with a potion of magic now, so that's why we know what that one is. So I'm just gonna, some people like to wait until they have multiples. I just pretty much just read them. So the first one was a scroll of identify, so we can use that on one of our potions. Potion of haste, that might help us. So there's certain potions you don't really want to drink. So it's good to identify those. Scrolls, generally nothing too terrible is going to happen to you if you're on an empty floor. Enchant armor, that might have been good to wait, but you know, we can enchant our robe to +1. So you can see our AC went up. And this one is, ooh, Scroll of Acquirement. Now this is why I usually do this, because Scrolls of Acquirement can come in very handy. So it used to be you picked a type of thing like a weapon, then it just gave you something. Now it gives you these choices. And you can actually X out and come back later if you want. But I'm sure we can find something useful here. Broadaxe of Electrocution. That's going to be more useful for a fighter. Amulet of Equivalence. This is pretty good. Reflect, resist corrosion, strength, dex, and shields. It's Reflect is kind of an attribute, like if a centaur is chucking arrows at you, if you block it, there's a potential to shoot it back at him. But I don't know if we're going to do shields, because shields for spellcasters are kind of weird now. So there's this book, the Papyrus of Lightness and Enchantment. We don't know what's in it. If we hit exclamation point, we'll toggle between acquire and examine. So now if I hit C, we can examine it. So it's going to give us shock, lightning bolt, summon mana viper, corpse rot, and freezing cloud. Generally when I do a summoner, I like to stick to summoning spells, but there's nothing to say we can't, you know, learn some ice magic and learn freezing cloud, or you know, some air and learn lightning bolt. It'd be good to lock down summon mana viper, and there's nothing else here that's too amazing. I mean, gold is nice, but we'll get more of that. So I'm going to switch back to acquire. We'll get that and then click yes. Now we have a book. These used to be actual books that you would have to drag around, but now they just kind of go, they just get added into the spell list. So see, we're a ways off from learning it. We have a 77% failure rate, and it uses hexes and summoning. Mana Vipers are cool because if they attack a magic user and bite them, they'll sort of leech off some of his magic points. So that's handy. So we are level 3, so we can learn Call Canine Familiar now. So we will do that. And that summons a little doggy for you. Starts out as a hound, and then as you gain more spell levels, you end up with like wargs or something like that. But they kind of hang around a little longer than some of the other familiars, and they do... Another nice thing is they can see invisible, which comes in handy. So down we go. So he can't follow us. We'll have to re-summon him. So we'll run around and summon some friends, but the hound should be able to take care of them. Yeah, and we're just gonna do some auto exploring. So again, early on, you're not gonna run anything too crazy. So a little quokka. I may even hit him some myself. So if something's sleeping and you have a dagger, you have a good chance to stab him. So yeah, helpless goblin fails to defend itself, you puncture the goblin. I think all small blades have a chance at stabbing, but daggers are the best. And if we look at our attributes, so this is what we can learn, and then if we hit shift asterisk, here's all the skills. We can see short blades is really the only thing we have decent aptitudes for. Everything else is pretty much negative except for staves, which doesn't mean anything, and bows we're good at. You could still learn them, it's going to take a lot more of an investment of experience points. So on we go. So these guys can be a bit of a pain, but we did summon a white imp. They're nice. They have throw frost, so they're probably the best, one of the best imps. He's just making short work of that worm. They're slow, but they hit pretty hard. So I'm gonna bring him up and just let my hound take care of him. They're kind of fighting off screen. It doesn't look like the hound's fighting back, does it? He may not be able to fight if you can't see me. Here's an adder. This is probably your biggest worry the first few floors because they can poison things, as we see. So we see our little elf or our little imp has some poison drops on it. But his throw frost has slowed the adder, so that's going to help. And he should be able to kill that guy too. Yeah, thank you. Good job, imp. On we go. Here's just a little salamander. Nothing super worrisome. So here's our first altar. Get out of the way. All right. So another big choice is which god you choose to worship. And there's a bunch in the game. I forget the exact number. Ashanzari, the way he works is he curses things. And if you curse things like your sword, you can't easily drop it if you need to get something new. But it gives you better skilling and various other attributes. But I don't think we're going to do him. You'll find various altars scattered around, but then we'll also find a temple where most of the gods should be. Usually you see that by like level 7, I think. So we're just auto-exploring. And then yeah, to cast spells at Z, and then the last spell you cast will be there automatically if you just hit enter. Or you could do a question mark and it's going to show you all your spells. Call Canine Familiar still has a minor failure rate, but it's not a big deal. We actually have a hound, so that was kind of stupid. But yeah, that's how that works. Here's a scroll of identify, so I'm going to read that. Identify another potion. Some curing would be good in case we run into an adder. But again, we can usually have a wall of stuff up. So here's some gloves, nothing fancy. Put these on, we get another point in AC. Stupid bat. It was kind of irregular movement. Here's another dagger. It's nothing exciting. If it was enchanted, it would look a little different. We'll come. Oh shit. So this is Natasha, our first unique. So they're kind of like a unique monster. There's one of them, and they generally have various attributes. So yeah, Natasha, the servant of life and death. There's Felids is one of the race, so she's basically a cat. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but she's a cat magic user. So yeah, so she can call imps, she can slow you, and she can magic dart you. And Felids have multiple lives, so we're going to have to kill her multiple times. So we're just going to summon some stuff and hope for the best. We could get murdered here potentially, but we didn't. All right. So our spell casting's up to 4. We've reached level 4. And we got another point of intelligence. So sometimes you'll have I think, deep elves. Let's take a look. Is it Shift A or is it A? Yeah, it's just A. We don't have any special abilities. So I think our intelligence goes up every so often just on its own. Okay, so we got some gold here. We're going to rest up. So we're going to run into her 2 more. Oh, shit. So this is Robin, a mountain hobgoblin, recently come in search of the legendary orb. Yeah, the point is to get the orb, by the way, but you know, it's basically just an excuse to kill things. So you need to get the orb and come back up and escape. Not foolhardy or reckless enough to delve into the depths of the dungeon alone, Robin has built a small army of minions. Potential competitors will quickly find a stream of screaming goblins flying towards them. So yeah, so she has this throw ally, so she can, I think it's a she, I can't remember. Can throw goblins at you, so which is kind of annoying. But we should be okay here. Let's get a shadow imp. Oh yeah, she can also berserk things, which is fun. So yeah, we're in pretty good shape. Our shadow imp can just pain this stuff, so we should be good. Go get him, don't come here. Yeah, sometimes your summons will follow you as opposed to like going off and fighting things, but yeah, if you just hit T, you can kind of order them around a little bit. You can tell them to, you know, retreat, guard a specific area. Like if I hit G, it'll just kind of wander around there. If I hit follow me, Well, that's the other thing. They don't really last. Yes, it is very orky. The kind of annoying thing is summons don't really last a very long time. And I think they kind of balance it, assuming that you're not going to go pure summoner. You're going to use summons along with other spells. But if you rely on summons, you know, not having many summons and having them go away quickly is not ideal. I think Canine Familiar seems to be the best in terms of sticking around. Yep, stabbed him. So yeah, there's a lot of different gods. So speaking of orcs, the orc god lets you basically recruit other orcs to your cause, which is kind of funny. You end up with this like giant army of orcs. Is there anything we want to learn? I usually don't bother with Summon Guardian Golem, but I guess we could. But summoning Lightning Spire will greatly increase our chances of surviving. Guardian Golem basically takes a bunch of damage and then explodes, which can be fun in some cases, but it's probably just going to get us killed. So I'm just going to start working on Lightning Spire. So our summoning is up pretty good. I'll set it to 7, and I'll unfocus it, and I'm going to focus air. Just get a little bit of air, because the Lightning Spire uses that. And that's probably the best summon in your beginning spellbook. So yeah, see now we summoned a wolf. So a bit more hit points, a bit more damage. So in here is probably Crazy Youth. Let's see. Yeah, here he is. So he's usually, you'll find him like this in a little forest in this little vault. He's a +2 Quarterstaff of Chaos and a cloak. It's usually +4, and he might have a better cloak. All right, we can learn Summon Golem. What the heck? Actually, that might come in handy in this instance. So let's see. So Summon Guardian Golem. Yes. Okay. All right. So yeah, so he's awake now. Okay, so we're gonna summon our Guardian Golem. It's got a 9% failure rate, but it's so I'm gonna open the door and run away. And he's gonna hit. Oh, well, I don't want to be standing this close. Yeah, see that little like red? That's an indication that he's about to explode like that. Yeah, and actually I forgot. In forests, the forest kind of catches on fire, so we want to get the hell out of here. So I think it's gonna burn. Well, I guess it burned itself out. So yeah, so that's Summon Guardian Golem. It absorbs damage to itself or to any of the other summons, so it comes in kind of handy. So he had a cloak and a Quarterstaff of Chaos. We're going to take both of those. Haven't really done much with staff, so we can switch to the staff. And then to wear things is Shift W. And we'll add the cloak. That gives us another point of AC, and you can see it kind of crudely kind of shows what you're wearing. So if we look at the Quarterstaff of Chaos, blah blah blah, you know, it's some things to look at are the base damage, base accuracy, and attack delay. But Chaos, where does it tell us what Chaos does? Yeah, each time it hits an enemy, it has a different random effect. So your weapons will have, enchanted weapons will have different effects, like, you know, flaming or ice or electrocution. This one has sort of random effects, including some you don't get with other spells. And we were talking about minimum delay. So if I'm just going to attack, over here is records your time usage, and this is the last time usage for your last turn. So you can see it's 1 because we just walked. So if I try to hit this mushroom, see the time delay is 1.3. So if I decide to start training staves, that attack delay will go down. Because if I was trading blows with an enemy and my attack delay was 1.3, occasionally I would get hit twice, which I don't really want. So yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if we can like electrocute a fungus or anything. I don't know. Oh yeah. All sorts of weird effects can happen. So yeah, we turned it invisible. So yeah, we'll use this. It's a bit more dangerous, but it can be fun. Okay, so we cleared out the floor. So if you just want to go down, so we could go down to these stairs. If you just want to go down quickly, you can do Shift G. And it's gonna say where to. You can pick a place, or if you just want to go down, you can just hit Shift and then period, which is the greater than caret. So then you'll just pick like the closest stairs and go down. I do my manual training. I think autos may be good for beginners, so it's one thing you don't have to worry about. But with manual, you can kind of pick and choose exactly what you want. And then I'll usually, yeah, if you get equals, you can do skill targets. So we're getting, but I mean, either or is, you know, up to you. Either or is fine. So we're getting pretty good at killing things. Well, mostly because we have help. So we're going to want to train some defenses pretty soon. So let's see, I'm going to hit him. What happens to him? Nothing. Nothing. Another scroll. Here's a longsword. We may, I don't know, we'll see. Oh, good, lots of orcs. We could do a guardian golem. Just spam some mammals to sort of be chaff, whatever. Nothing too exciting here. Some stones, some boomerangs. I mean, a helmet, it's extra AC. I tend to like... My problem with this game is I tend to be a little more like role-playing. Like, oh, a wizard isn't going to wear a helmet. But, you know, you need all the help you can get. So, you know. So we found our first ring. It's a ring of flight, which is essentially useless. But, you know, never hurts. So we can try our lightning spire. What is it? Yeah, 22% failure rate. Maybe not. We'll just, there's nothing too scary here. Oh, so yeah, a freezing effect kicked in there. There's a bunch of different effects. I can actually show you how to look those up. I shouldn't really stand by him because he hits very hard. See, I'm poisoning him. I think we just drained him. And now he's dead. Yeah. So down here in the corner, if you play online, you can subscribe to this little bot, and then it lets you look things up. So if we do like question chaos, it's sort of cheating a little bit, but not really. So on damage, it has a chance to apply haste, might, agility, slow, invisibility. Paralysis, petrify, berserk, polymorph, shapeshift into something else. So yeah, so it could be, I mean, if we hit, you know, a hobgoblin and change it into an ogre, that could be a problem. Or, you know, if we berserk a troll, that could be a problem. But, you know, whatever. Oh, yeah, so training. So there's two ways to do your training. There's auto mode. And if you have it on auto mode, it's basically going to train whatever you do. So if you start fighting things, it'll start training up your, like let's say you have an axe and you start hitting things with your axe, it'll start training your axe attributes up. If you dodge, your dodging will go up. So that's one way to do it. The other way is manual, where you specifically decide where your experience is going. So right now my experience is going into spellcasting, summoning, and air magic. So yeah, I'm hitting things with a staff, but the staff isn't going up because I'm in manual mode. So that's something we'll want to do. Usually the spellcasters, I focus on spellcasting first before I worry about a weapon. Ideally, so that hit in a burning effect. So yeah, there's a lot of different effects. Pole arms are nice for summoners because you can kind of hide behind your summons. But if we look, we have a -3 aptitude for pole arms, so you can still use them. It's just going to take a lot more experience to train it up. Oh yeah, sure, no problem. It's a complicated game, so yeah, there's a lot going on for sure. So he's got an enchanted weapon. That actually tells me down here. It's wielding a flail of protection. Protection is nice for spellcasters because you don't start with much AC. I think I'm going to stick with the staff. Here's a dart slug. He can shoot things at you. Maybe being a little bit ambitious here. So yeah, this is a acid jelly. Can use acid, which is pretty deadly early on. Some mammals. So we haven't run anything super scary yet. Just keep auto exploring. The footprints kind of show you where you came from, just so you don't get too disoriented. Some darts, we could use these. Yeah, it's a fun game for sure. Okay, so our first store, and it is a scroll boutique. So we don't really have much gold. If there was something super interesting like teleport or blank, we might want to try to buy it. Some things we'll probably want. So like we know we'll want enchant armor probably later on. So if you hit shift and click the letters, basically adds it to like a shopping list. We might need amnesia too. And then we'll escape. So now if I hit the dollar signs, like shift F4, we have our little shopping list here. And then as you have enough gold to buy certain items, it'll kind of tell it, it'll say, hey, you have enough gold for this now. So yes, we're just going to keep summoning, and we'll hit things with our staff. Our main goal is to get Lightning Spire summonable. And I mean, it kind of is now, but 17% failure rate is a little high. So the Orc Wizard bothers me a little bit. So if you come down here, an Orc has gained proficiency in the occult arts, using them for martial purposes. So you can see his spells. So you can go invisibility, you can throw flame, he can confuse you, which is the big problem. And you can shoot magic dart. If he goes invisible, our hound will be able to track him, so that's nice. And certain spellcasters, you don't necessarily always know what spells they have. Some can have multiple different spell books. It would show you like each spell book, and then you wouldn't really know what spells he has until he starts using spells. We're up to level 6 now. Get some more scrolls. I'm not in a huge rush to identify the scrolls now that I have I basically do that. Ooh, there's an artifact staff. That's nice. I do that for an early shot at Scroll of Acquirement, because that can be fun. Okay, so we found this is a random artifact. So it'll have better stats than the typical weapon, but you can't really improve it. Like you can't use enchant weapon scrolls or anything like that. But it's +4 quarterstaff of freezing, has resist electricity, and it gives you some strength. So is that better than a quarterstaff of chaos? I mean, it's a bit safer, and it's an artifact, and it gives us some strength, and it gives us Aralek. So we'll use that for a while. And you can check that, just sort of get to your profile. I guess you'd say it's shift 5 to get the percentages. And here's us, here's our attributes, etc., our spell levels left, experience level, and our experience to get to the next experience level. Here's all your kind of resistances. So we can see now we have a pip of resist electricity. So resist fire you're especially going to want. But this can be handy because this is very deadly, and it can like bounce off walls and hit you twice. Here's what we're wearing. Here's some other random stuff. So yeah. So enchant armor. We'll probably wait for some better armor to start using those. So that's Dungeon 3. Where's our spellcasting at? So my Lightning Spire is down to 16%. I guess we could think about using it. there are some potential ill effects if you miscast. It used to just be you didn't cast it. Now various bad things can happen. But we'll try it. Summon Lightning Spire. It's saying it's dangerous to cast. Are you going to do it? I'm going to say yes. So that summons this little guy. He basically just launches light electrical bolts at people. 3d6 damage. So yeah, very much a good early game spell. So since it's sleeping, I might need to tell him to attack. So T, attack, target. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so you can see once you get this reliably castable, it's definitely... I'll actually still have him go. Shoot him. There we go. There we go. Yeah, shoot. Yeah. Yeah, so this is just pretty much making a mockery of this floor. Scorpions are definitely something to worry about, but everything else, not really. Gnolls can be a problem. They tend to have nets. And this is a shaman. He can cast some spells at you. He can heal other... Oh, he can heal other people? I didn't know that. Haste. So we'll probably want to set up... Wow, we haven't failed once. That's nice. All right, guys. You want to start firing? Let's do... Yeah. Just in case. Hit him, not me. Oh boy. That's the thing about this game. It's very easy to do a dumb. So we don't, that we know of, we don't have any healing potions. So I'm just gonna hope, I'm just gonna keep running. Oh good. God damn it. What do we have? We have nothing. We have absolutely nothing that can help us. So if I go this way, 4 guys are going to be after me. If I go this way, he's going to get a shot at me. But at least there's just 1 guy to worry about. Ah, fuck. So we could, things we could do. We could hope that one of these were like healing or curing. That would give us some hit points. We could stand and fight him, but he's probably going to kill us. I'm going to try to do a imp. Yeah, there we go. We should be okay now. That brought us up to 7. Okay, so now it's telling us we've run out of things to train. So we're going to do some fighting and dodging. We'll get them both up to like 6. Assuming we survive, which is a big if. So I still have 4 magic points left, so I'm going to try to get a spire. Watch, it'll fail this time. Oh, there we go. So the spire places randomly. It used to be able to place it, so it's really nice. You could just run down a hallway, toss it behind you, and it would just murder everything. I think we're going to survive. Maybe. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to work my way back to the stairs. Oh, god damn it. There we go. Yeah, that's the nice thing about summons. Okay, so we're up here. There was a goblin down there. We should be fine. So he cannot... Oh, and there's an imp. I don't want to mess around. Once I train up some fighting, I'll get a few more hit points. Right now I have 33. Which is not much. All right, so we're pretty much back where we were. There was a hat down here. Yep. This is a shadow imp, like what we summon. He can cast pain at us, so it's a bit of a problem. We do have our staff though. There's another enchant armor, another unknown scroll, and a +2 hat. So we will wear that. It's kind of, there's some nice hats that look like wizard hats. This just kind of looks like a, I don't know, like a golf cap. If you really get into it, there's like a little paper doll thing where you can choose what stuff looks like, but I'm not that vain. I'll just take the extra AC. Let's see, is there anything else I want to learn? We're getting close to being able to learn Summon Mana Viper. Well, we have the experience level. We just need to get our spell points up. So let's see, what is our spell? Our spell casting is at 5. Once we get these up, we're going to want to go back to spell casting and summoning. There's Auto Explorer. And eventually we'll probably want to stop auto exploring, but we should be fine for now. Hound took care of him. So yeah, see, this Hound is sticking around a pretty long time. So between him and the Spire, we should be good. You see the Spire vanished. All right, so here's a little vault. So this is a player ghost. So when you die, you may leave a player ghost. I don't really understand the hows or whys. So yeah, so this was a genie. That's one of the new races. I don't really know too much about that. But basically, it's kind of leaves a copy of you. They used to just be walking around the floor at random. Now they're usually in these vaults with some treasure, but there's nothing interesting in there, and the red means he's extremely dangerous. I mean, to be honest, with Lightning Spire, we could probably take him out, but no big deal. So here's another unique Ijib, the Twisted Goblin, comes into view. She's wielding a +0 dagger and carrying a wand of flame with 6 charges. Sometimes she's wielding something bad, like Ice Blast or Acid, which can basically kill you in one shot. I would like a classic wizard hat, yes, but I won't cheat. We'll see if we find one. So yeah, Ijib usually comes, every unique usually has some kind of little twist on them. The thing with Ijib is shows up early and usually has a wand, and if it's a wand of acid, there's a good chance you're dead. Flame is not going to do too much to us, but I'm still going to Lightning Spire her and take her wand. So for wands, you need to, you can use them, but if you want them to grow in power, you need to use up your evocations. There's some other items you'll find too. I think there used to be a cool lamp of fire, which would just like flood an area with fire. +1 robe of positive energy. I mean, it's not amazing, but it's better than a plain old robe. So yeah, so there, now we have a robe. I guess it matches our hat. So we're going to drop some stuff. We're going to drop the robe and the helmet. The helmet by default gives you more AC, but since the hat is +2, I think that's better. We're not going to use this Ring of Flight, so I'm going to drop that too. So that's just D. It's pausing on the ring because I have a problem where I just blow by rings. So I have it set. There's it's called an RC file. You can set it up to do all kinds of things, like warn you if your health is too low, or warn you if certain things happen, or blah blah blah. So I have it set to like pause when there's a ring, so I would just pick up rings and never find them. Did we see something? Oh yeah, it's just the ghost. He will not bother us. Oh, but here is Eustachio. So yeah, if you're starting out, it's good to, if you run into something you don't know what it is, it doesn't hurt to check it out, because you never know, especially with the unique. So again, that's just X, V. He's an apprentice summoner with a flowing mustache. He has funny ideas about honor. You can summon small mammal, minor demon, and blink. Minor demon is, I think, more or less our summon imp, but he doesn't have lightning spire, so good luck. Of course, we miscast it. So yeah, that should make quick work of him. All right, so he had a rapier and leather armor. So yeah, if I was playing, I'm playing with the latest build, just so if somebody plays this, it'll be pretty much what they would see. I've been playing some of the older builds. Again, because I've been, like with summoning, I've been kind of wanting to do with summon demon. There used to be like summon demon, summon greater demon, and then they would sometimes get pissed off at you, and if you would have to abjure them, or you'll be standing next to a greater demon and it'll just start chucking balls of damnation and happily kill you in the process. So yeah, so that's something to think about. But I mean, generally, I think most people just play the latest and greatest version. So it'll be like, you know, various quality of life changes. So we have a lot of unidentified scrolls, and we've cleared this level. We didn't find the temple yet, did we? No. All right. So let's read some of these. We have 4 identifies, so let's use those. The fizzy ink potions are heal wounds. Very good to have. I should have done this earlier. 2 purple are degeneration. We'll drop those. The puce potions are curing, so that's good. So if we get hit by an adder's bite, we can use curing. Curing heals you a little bit, but it also cures status ailments. Some status ailments, not all, but like poison. Heal wounds just, you know, heals wounds. So we will drop Potion of Degeneration. That's kind of like a gotcha potion. It just kind of degrades some of your skills if you just blind drink. So yeah, let's just read some of these. Scroll of Torment, Scroll of Immolation. That sets things on fire, and then they explode, kind of like the Guardian Golem. Enchant Weapon. Do our Staff of Chaos. See, we can't enchant the artifact. Stack of 3 scrolls or magic mapping. So we've done this whole floor already. But if this was a new floor and we wrote magic mapping, we could kind of see where everything was. So that's handy to have, especially in certain levels. I found a scroll of teleportation. So after a few turns, we'll just bounce somewhere else in the level, which is obviously handy for escaping. So we still have 1 of those left. So these other 2, I'll maybe wait for some duplicates. Like I said, some people wait until they have a stack of a bunch. So they're like, oh, once I identify it, I'll know what it is. But it's like, yeah, you'll do that anyway next time you find it. So this is Duvessa, which means Dowan is hanging around somewhere too. She's the scary one. Plain-looking deep elven fighter who is technically brilliant in many forms of combat, but overconfident because of it. She is complemented by the magic skills of her twin brother, Dowan. She journeys to the surface to challenge its greatest champions. So what's scary about her is if you kill her brother, she gets berserked. And if you kill her, her brother gets hasted. And he's kind of a wimp, so generally you want to kill her first. Why am I not? Alright. So we're definitely going to want a Lightning Spire. And a Hound. And pretty much everything we have. Oh, good! Another unique. So we're going to have 3 uniques coming down on us. Blork is a particularly fat and ugly orc. He scavenged a pair of rainbow-colored suspenders from somewhere. They're not helping. Yeah, teleport is basically your go-to, one of your go-to escapes. It may put you in a worse situation, but especially once you have some of the floor cleared out, you're kind of likely to get put in a safe space. But sometimes it's better if you know you're facing certain death. Blink is the other one. We'll go over that when we find one. So anyway, Blork, oops, meant to be doing this, not, oh, Jesus. So yeah, he can throw Frost, Magic Dart, Flame, Haste. And we also have Edmund. A jealous sibling of Sigmund, indeed the youngest of 9 brothers, is none of Sigmund, blah, blah, blah. He's basically a fighter. He's got a +3 flail. So if I was smart, I would go upstairs and just come back someplace else. But I've never been accused of that. So if I summon our Guardian Golem and send him up there, these guys are going to do some serious damage. So he's going to hopefully... Okay, and there's Dowan. You can see he's hasted because his sister just died. We are out of, pretty much out of, yeah, this was perhaps not a great idea. So I'm going to quaff heal wounds. Ideal, he's going to hit me, but if he would hit my summons, this guy would explode and take him out. But we'll try hitting him once, twice, 3 times, Come on, explode already. I'm gonna waste another healing potion. Yeah, I should have gone back upstairs, but I generally don't play smart. Come on, just hit a summon so he explodes. There we go, thank you. All right. That does make a lot of noise, so we'll probably have some company. I'm gonna come down here. Aspire. I mean, I should be fine, but we don't know what heard the explosion. So sometimes uniques will have fun stuff, but these guys do not seem to. Oh, we did pick up a Book of Conjurations. We learned Magic Dart, Searing Ray, and Fulminant Prism. We're mainly going to stick to summoning spells with maybe a few exceptions. So an Ice Ring gives you some ice protection, makes your fire resistance worse, and powers up your ice spells a bit. So we probably don't have need of that unless we run into a bunch of ice beasts and need some quick resistances. You can also just find general, like, you know, protection from fire and protection from ice rings and gear. So that was another god altar, but it's not one we're interested in, so I'm just going to keep going. Acid. Oh, good. Yeah, here's a maybe do Guardian Golem. Oops. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. You used to be able to target this, but now it's put itself behind us, so it's not really helping us here at this point. And I don't think I can really recast it. It's just going to show up there again. Oh, no, it's not. All right, that's good. So as these things come in, it's just going to massacre them. So that was fun. Ooh, another Scroll of Acquirement. Nice. And a Staff of Earth. There used to be a Staff of Summoning that kind of powered up your summoning spells, and that's what that does. It just gives you, I think it might give you some Earth resistance and power up your Earth spells, but they removed the Staff of Summoning. So again, it's another case where sometimes you may want to play an older version. But we will use one of these identifies. Potion of Ambrosia. This is sort of an emergency heal, I guess. It boosts up your... Well, let's take a look at it. Ambrosia. A strange substance produced by ghost moths. Consuming it causes regeneration of health and magic along with total befuddlement. The two effects are fundamentally linked. The regeneration ends the moment the confusion does. So you're confused and you start regenerating, and you'll eventually stop being confused. What you could do is drink it for a little bit and then drink like a curing to get rid of the confusion. But then once you do, the healing stops. So we are going to read our second Scroll of Acquirement. What do we get? Staff of Air, Ring of Sea Invisible, +3 Lajatang of Pain and Death. Lajatangs are cool. They're kind of like, they're basically in the staff weapon class. They're pretty fast. The problem is it's +3 and I won't be able to bring it up anymore. And Vorpal gives you a little bit of extra damage against everything, but not as exciting as like Electrocution or Freeze. And it has RF minus. So I don't know, I may just take the gold, to be honest. Assuming we live long enough to make use. Oh, Jesus Christ. So if we can get a Spire up, we should be good. Problem is he cut off the exit. So I'm going to head towards the exit. These iguanas have a pretty nasty punch. We should be... Oh, good. So he's got a trident, so he can reach and attack me, and this guy's attacking me. So this is not ideal. I might squeak over here. There we go. Well, would have preferred they didn't kill my Spire, but so yeah, so this Scorpion can poison you up pretty good. Oh, no more spell points. Now we run away. Well, I mean, I can summon a mammal to hold him back for a few turns, but we're essentially running away at this point. We're going to go up, and oh, he came with us. I should be able to handle him. So we're going to rest, and we will choose another stairs. So again, if I hit shift, and so if I hit X, shift X, and then down, it's going to cycle through the downstairs or the upstairs if you go up. It's basically just an easy way to find staircase you haven't gone down. Here's a hound. I was gonna say we'd probably take him, but not with an iguana. Yeah, look, he's slowed because that ice imp was slowing him. So cold-blooded creatures can be slowed. Not everything. Comes in handy in the lair, because pretty much everything there is cold-blooded. All right. This is somewhat dangerous. The water mox. Oh, shit. Yeah, so this is Sigmund. This is Edmund's brother. The elder of a pair of brothers who came for the orb. No one knows what Sigmund saw in the dungeon to drive him mad, but his shrewd magical tactics and wicked scythe now leave little time for his victims to wonder. Despite his reputation as a vicious murderer, his grandiose and dramatic ways have earned him the admiration of many denizens of this dungeon. All right. So yeah, Sigmund is deadly. He has a scythe, so he can reach attack you. He can confuse you. He can go invisible. He can shoot darts and flame at you. We're pretty close to him, so he can hit us right now. If I can get a Spire up, we should be all right, in theory, as long as he doesn't confuse me. So it's not going to shoot now because they're attacking him, but they seem to be taking care of him. So there we go. So yeah, easy peasy. Okay, so our fighting and dodging are up to 6. I'm going to get like spellcasting up to summoning up to 10 and spellcasting up to like 7. We'll do them equal weights. He was carrying a scythe. Oh, yeah. Centaurs. These are one of your biggest problems. This and orc priests. Speaking of, I don't think we've run into any yet. So I definitely want to get Spire up. It's kind of tricky because as a summoner you want to get away from them, but centaurs you kind of want to get close. Because in theory they stop using their bow, otherwise they'll just horribly murder you. Centaur used to be one of the classes in the game. They got rid of it and replaced it with something stupid. I don't know. So here's an Amulet of Reflection. I don't have an amulet, so I may as well use it. It gives you a little bit of shields. And this is raised if you have an actual shield. It'll raise this this level here. And if you block something, it has a chance to shoot it back. That's what the Reflect does. But it also just gives you some blocking, which is nice. Another Scorpion. Try to get... I don't think we've seen one of these yet. So this is an Iron Imp. He just has a lot of hit points in AC and EV, and he just clobbers things. He should be immune to poison too. You see our hound got poisoned. This is a necrophage. I think they can drain you. You can see that asp is poisoning my hound. Bastard. Ring is resist corrosion. This has certain uses while you'll want it, so it's good to have one. Or it's good to have something with resist corrosion on it, especially as you get near the end of the game. So we'll hang on to it. All right, so we're done with Dungeon 5. Did we find... We have not found the temple yet. You hear the hiss of flowing sands. This is telling you there's an entrance to the ossuary on this level. Hurry and find it, for the portal is buried. Buried? Buried? It's buried. Bird it. So this is like a timed dungeon. You need to find it before it varies on the level, but basically it closes up after a certain amount of time. So what we need to do is start walking around. So this is where, if this was something we really wanted to get to, like a bazaar, cosmic bazaar, we could read one of our magic mapping scrolls, and the whole map would be shown, and you could see points of interest like shops and entrances. Or I think they're like little yellow dots. Or anyway, you would be able to find it. But, you know, it's not the end of the world if we don't get to it. Here's a shop. Potion shop. Potions of curing, haste, invisibility. So these are potions that we know. These are potions that we don't know. So I'll put some of these on the shopping list. Might, we don't really need. Haste, I'll put on the shopping list. Curings. How many curings do I have? I have 5. All right, so we're good for now. All right, so if we keep moving along, eventually we'll see some text that might give us a hint. Yeah. So you hear the slow hiss of a very distant avalanche of sand. So we're not remotely close to it. So I don't know. Do we go down? Do we go... Well, first let's take care of this guy. Is he talking to us? I give in to your servants, O grandiloquent and greatest ban. Okay, sure. So this is a howler monkey. They make noise, which can attract things. And this is an ogre, which is probably one of your biggest early concerns. So we're going to trot out a lightning spire just in case. And we reach level 9. Let's get some intelligence. I need to check our spells. I haven't done that in a while. Okay, so they made quick work of him. Let's take a look. So yeah, in terms of summoning spells, are pretty good. I mean, there's nothing to stop us from, you know, if we wanted to learn ice magic and conjurations and air, and we have some air because we did a lightning spire, so we could potentially branch out into one of these. Mana Viper is definitely something we're interested in, and I think if we started training some hexes, right now it's 36%. If we train some hexes, I think it would come pretty quickly. Oh, good, an imp. Are you one of mine? Yeah, so we will. So we're training right now. We're training spellcasting and summoning. So we're gonna do I for hexes. We'll get hexes to like 4. Maybe we'll focus that. So it would give us another body to throw at things. So this is a howler monkey and an acid dragon. It can shoot acid at you, which is pretty. So here's the problem. If I go down this corridor, he's just gonna be able to blast acid down it. Okay, so we're gonna run. I think he's dead. Yeah, the acid dragon dies. All right. So yeah, so summoning, once you get spire castable, it's, I mean, you can still die very easily in this game, but it makes it a lot easier. You might have noticed it bounced off the wall there. That's something with electrical spells. Book of the Hunter. Portal projectile and Lita's liquefaction. Not really anything that interests us. Antique armor shop. Oh, interesting. So we have mostly just regular stuff, but we also have an embroidered robe. So this will have some kind of enchantment on it. And a silken robe. So this is an artifact of some kind. It might not hurt to get both, but let's check the artifact first. +1 robe of RF. I mean, it's not +1 robe of the imp. I mean, it's not terrible, RF. Let's see what this is. Could be something better. +1 robe of willpower. I think I'd rather have the RF at this point. So I'm going to wear that robe. Ooh. And here is an, if I can get them to move, here's an artifact ring mail. and some rune scale mail. It's got some scary shit in there, but it's got an orc wizard too. Yeah, it's like if he confused us and this boulder beetle just, yeah. We're gonna come back though, for sure. All right, so we're just gonna keep summoning. And it's kind of a different play style for sure. Jewelry Emporium. So lots of stuff here. Amulet of Faith kind of ties into your god choice. Some gods it makes more sense than others. Oh, are you not scrolling? Yeah, you're scrolling. All right. Basically, when you worship a god, as you kill things, you generate I'm blanking on the name. Piety, yes. And that sort of powers the god skills. So Amulet of Faith basically boosts your piety gain. Guardian Spirit trades some mana for health, which can be good, but if we're under attack, we're going to want to be casting spells. Ring of Intelligence clearly would boost our intelligence. Poison Resistance, I'm definitely going to buy one of these because poison is one of the things that can do you in early. Ring of Protection might be nice. In fact, I may buy that too. That'll give you like 4 extra AC, and we don't have much to begin with, so it'd bring us up to 11. Ring of Wizardry helps you cast spells. It lowers the failure rate, but we don't really have anything that we're itching to cast right now. So we'll probably we may want to come back and get that, but I am going to buy, do I want to buy both of these? Sure, why not? Yes. All right. So we are going to put on Poison Resistance, and we're going to put on Ring of Protection. So if we take a look now, so we have RF from our robe. We have our poison from our Ring of Poison Resistance, and Aralek from the staff, and our AC is up to 11 now. That's some extra survivability. I mean, ideally, oh shit, I forgot about this. God damn it. Yeah, so we managed to stumble upon the ossuary despite my stupidness. So yeah, so this is like a timed vault. If you get here in time, it's basically just another place to go in and kill things and get some stuff. They're random like everything else. Usually it's gonna be undead focused. They're usually pretty weak. About the scariest thing you'll run into is a mummy. So yeah, we're not, with Lightning Spire, we're not worried. In fact, between me and the wolf, we can probably just fight this stuff. Undead, just like the regular undead, are usually pretty weak. These are alarm traps, and we'll need to cross one to get in there, so we may as well do it now. So now we are marked. So what that means is basically everything on the floor knows where we are. It's a small floor, so we don't need to worry about it too much. Well, maybe we need to worry a little bit. But yeah, now with Lightning Spire, we'll be fine. So I'm just hitting period just to let the Lightning Spire do its thing. Oh, we're starting to come through now. So we can take these on. All right, so in theory, this should be empty now. So yeah, we'll just get our loot and go. Oh, what the heck? That's interesting. Oh, I guess he's supposed to look like an elf, like with his little white hair. That's interesting. I've never seen that, or I've never paid attention. So yeah, again, regular undead, not very scary. Unidentified scroll. Nothing there, and nothing there. All right. So now to get out of this little timed vault, just go through here. Now the entrance is collapsed. You can't go back in there. And if we had run out of time, you know, this is what you'd come across. Oh no, it's closed. Certain things you don't want to miss, but this one, it's not a big deal. You get some early loot. Dagger of Draining. Nothing better than what we have. We have some friends coming though. Oh good, a lot of friends. So I'm gonna try Lightning Spire. Okay, so it showed up in front of me, that's good. So it's just gonna mow these guys down. You see they threw a net. I should be able to grab it if it didn't break. Yeah, I think I did. Here is a Phantom. These guys are kind of weird. They have they kind of blink around. They have some good resistances, and if they blink, they kind of take you with them. But again, yeah, see, even our wolf just took, well, didn't quite take care of him, but yeah, see, it kind of blinked me around there. Just tell our wolf to go get him. All right. Another shot. Magic scrolls. Blinking. See, in theory, if I had the money I hadn't spent, I could buy the scroll of blinking. But that definitely goes on our shopping list. Brand weapon. This will take a regular weapon and give it a brand, like flaming or electricity or freeze. Fog can come in handy if you're, you know, like if a bunch of centaurs are on the other side of the room. That can come in handy if you want to break line of sight, basically. Yeah, see, he hits pretty hard. I should not stand next to one of those. Here's a scorpion. These guys should take care of him, hopefully, maybe. Probably not. Can I cast Summon Mono Viper? Yes, I can. So here's our Mono Viper. I think we can summon only one. Used to be you could summon two. Violet Scaled Serpent with faintly glowing eyes. It thirsts for magic as well as flesh. Its bite can drink dry the magical reservoirs of even a powerful mage in no time. So yeah, definitely handy when you're fighting a magic user to take away some of their HP. But it can also hit for up to 23 points of damage, so that's nice. That's kind of handy to have on dungeon level 6. Of course he vanished right as I needed him. Okay. Ring of Protection from Fire. We'll hang on to that. We have RF on our robe right now. So do we want to be stupid and try to see what this artifact ring mail is? I mean, you only live once, right? What are you? You're a gladiator. Well, we have stairs right here if we get into trouble. So if we do Spire, Guardian Golem, Mono Viper, and Imp. And is there anything else we can cast? I think there's just one Mono Viper. I want to take a look. Sustain at most one creature. Anything else I should be casting? No. That's, we're going to open the door and run like hell. So he's a gladiator. He's got what? His thing shows a spear. Does that mean he has a spear? I am not sure. Probably. So I don't know. We're going to see what happens here. We're probably going to have to run away. So we want another canine familiar. Okay, we need to do some more training. Let's get fighting up to 8, dodging up to 8, spellcasting up to 8, summoning up to 12. And where does that put our hexes? So if we hit exclamation point, we can see our power levels, and that's related to your skilling. So he uses summoning and hexes. 44%, it's probably fine. So we'll just maybe focus summoning and bring everything else up. So let's see what happens. So yeah, there we go. It's a good thing I stepped back. I was stepping back to let my wolf in because he has sea invisibility. What I don't know is what's still out there. Okay, Boulder Beetle. Oh yeah, clearly the Boulder Beetle is still alive. But he's in the fire. They can jump around though, so I'm not sure about the ghosts. If I control P, that shows us our log. So did the ghost die? Yep, Kark's ghost is destroyed. Okay, Mana Viper got him. Nice. Yeah, it does a lot of damage. Where's that fucking beetle? Did it die? Where are you? There you are. Oh, shoot. In retrospect, that was not the greatest thing to do. This flame is going to do nothing to him, but... Oh, this will be funny. If the orb... Okay, it got him. I was going to say, if it didn't get him, I was just going to close his door. Scale mail, that's going to bite into our magic use too much. But this, plus the ring mail, our poison, RC plus, slay plus 2, stealth plus. We have the ring of RCs. I don't know. I think this is going to do bad things to our summon Mana Viper. Let's take a look. So right now, summon Mana Viper is 9%. I put this on. Yeah, 26%. You may want to switch to this pretty soon, but I'm going to go back to the robe. And on we go. Potion of Curing, 2 unidentified potions, a unidentified potion, a Scroll of Enchant Armor, Shiny Ring Mail, might be worth it, checking out later. Okay, I'll do some more identifying of potions. Lignification, that turns you into a tree, which can be handy in certain cases. Mutation. Mutation can kind of give you like weird attributes. I don't think we have any. Yeah, we don't really have any attributes right now. Like certain races are immune to certain, damage, or get some resistance, or have certain skills, or can fly. So when you get mutated, things like that can happen to you. These will also help cure mutation. So at certain levels, certain creatures have a ability to mutate you with some skills you wouldn't really want. Like there's a mutation that teleports you near monsters, or reduces your hit points, or makes it harder to read scrolls, that sort of thing. So yeah, definitely want to avoid that. So those are good to have. Connecting to chat. Okay. All right, so on we go. We still have not found the temple. So take a look. I think it's Shift O, Control O. Yeah, Control O is a dungeon overview. So we're in dungeon. We're on level 6 of 15. It's telling us the temple is going to be found somewhere between D4 and D7, and we haven't found it yet. So it stands to reason it's going to be on D7. The ossuary we visited, and this is showing us the god altars we've come across. Nothing that super interested us yet. So you're going to go down. Here's a bullfrog, and this is showing as yellow, which means it's like moderately scary. But, when you have a Mana Viper that can bite for 23 points of damage. Another spell book, Slow, Vampiric Draining, Confusing Touch. We mainly want summons, but we'll probably pick up a few other spells along the way. So here's the temple, the Ecumenical Temple. So again, this will be random, but generally what you'll find in here is most of the god altars, and I'm just kind of auto-exploring to find them all. So I think who I want, and who better be here, okay, is Sifmuna the Loreminder. So if we kneel at the altar of Sifmuna, Sifmuna the Loreminder is a contemplative but powerful deity, served by those who seek magical knowledge. Followers who triumph over their foes can call upon the Loreminder for magic power and the ability to cast spells beyond their magic training. The devout are rewarded with a supply of spellbooks taken directly from Sifmuna's legendary library. So this is one of the spellcaster, I mean, any god you can put to some use, but this one's good for spellcasters especially. So as we gain piety, we'll get the ability to channel back magic points. So you can spend a turn to get some magic points back. We can forget spells at will. So again, you have a limited pool of spell levels. So if you find a spell you want and you're out of levels, you either need to wait until you train up spell casting and get more levels naturally, or you can forget a spell to free up spell levels. And you can do that with the Scroll of Amnesia, or you can do that with Sif. So that's really handy. Especially since Sif also gives you a lot of spell books. So we'll get more spell books than just having to rely on finding them in the dungeon. Sif also has a skill that lets you cast any spell in your library. So let me just join. Sifmuna welcomes you. So now you can see we're a deep elf of Sifmuna. So if I go to my spell list, so here's the spells I can learn. So Freezing Clouds at 75% failure rate. If I had this, I think it's Divine Exegesis, something like that. Anyway, whatever it is. You use that skill. It has a percentage to fail, but let's say this was at 100% failure rate. I could cast this spell with that skill. So if I had a fun spell like, Firestorm, I'm not even like a fire mage, I could still cast it. So that's kind of fun. It's not something I rely on. It's a fun way, like if you find some of the really high level summoning spells, it's a good way to bring them out into the field early. All right, so Sif relies on invocations for her skills. So we'll start training that up in the background. Maybe focus spellcasting and summons. All right, so up we go, back to the dungeon. So we haven't uncovered too much of this floor, so we're going to be a little careful. Yeah, so now it's telling us, you don't have enough gold to buy a potion of invisibility. We could buy a scroll of blinking. We'll just keep moving. We have our friends to protect us, so that's something that most people don't have. Wand of Digging, that lets you just dig through walls. Most walls can come in handy. Another unidentified scroll. There's a ring of resist corrosion. So one thing you can do, and just close this so I can actually see. So we've already found one of these, so we don't really need another one. So if we hit the /, I think it's a /, the one that has the pipe over it. This is showing you what you've found, and all of these are going to be auto picked up if they have the plus next to it. So Ring of Flight we don't care about. Some things, if you get just one, it'll stop. Like we picked this up once, so it's not going to do it again. Ring of Ice we don't care about. Protection from Fire, and we've got one. Degeneration, we dropped that, so it's not picking those up. So yeah, so this is just kind of like a quality of life thing. So now I will no longer pick any of that stuff up if I'm auto-exploring. There's a troll. They can be pretty tricky. Can bite for 20 damage, claw twice for 15 damage each. So yeah, he could pretty much kill me. in one shot, more or less. Currently targeted by our lightning spire. If you kill it, it might drop a troll leather armor, which is interesting because they have regeneration. Where does it say? Does it not say? Oh yeah, it regenerates quickly. So the troll leather armor also has regeneration. Yeah, we should be good. All right, on we go. White imp, where is he? Oh, so here is Maggie the Vainglorious, another unique. In a distant time, Maggie was apprenticed to the dreaded Hell Knights, but she grew impatient. In search of a shortcut to fame and fortune, and somewhat short on imagination, she entered the dungeon and set out to slay a dragon. Now having slain one, Maggie sees no reason to stop. So she has Bolt of Fire and Mesmerized. So Bolt of Fire is problematic, so it does a lot of damage. We do have some RF, not a lot. So we won't be killed in 1 or 2 shots. Mesmerize basically, well, let's just look at it. Makes a targeted creature unwilling to move away from the caster. So you can't escape, which is kind of the mainstay of Crawl, is running away from shit. So I'm gonna back off. This is where having a Mana Viper will help, because he can leech off her spell points. Let's see. He missed. All right. And so the Bolt of Fire penetrates. Mana Viper missed again. Mana Viper bites Maggie. Maggie's magic leaks into the air. Yeah, I don't know how good that is, so I'm still going to bring up a Spire. So now we're hitting it. The Spire's hitting it. Mana Viper's missing. So yeah, so we got a lot of XP from that. Our armor scale went up. Spellcast. Are we training armor? Did I have an oopsie? So she had a longsword of draining and steam dragon scales. So different dragons can also leave armor behind potentially. Steam dragon scales really only protects you from steam, which is not really, not really something you run into that much. Let's see. Well, by George, we are training armor. Turn that off. It doesn't hurt to have a little armor. And we are wearing, I think we're still wearing a robe. Yeah, we're wearing a robe. But armor comes in handy as you get better armor. It makes it more likely to work. And for spellcasters, it decreases the spellcasting penalty. So we'll keep moving along. Another mutation potion. An Ice Beast. These can be tricky as well. Strange aerial creature formed of clouds and tortured flesh that sparkles with electricity and every so often slips entirely from view. So you can go invisibility. You can go invisible. It can hit you with electricity. Say the Hound can see invisible, so we should be fine. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, it's really good to have really nice to have Mana Viper this early. I wish I could cast more. All right, so we'll keep going, I guess. So here are some whites. They usually travel in packs and sometimes have a Enchanted Weapon, and they can drain you if they hit you. So we'll call up a Spire. Mana Viper. Looks like he might have an Enchanted Spear. +3 Spear of Freezing. I mean, I think we should stick with staves. So this is a Spectral Quarterstaff. I guess we'll pick it up, sure, why not? So if you fight, it'll sort of randomly spawn a duplicate to fight with you. So that can be kind of fun. Looks like he has an Enchanted Weapon too. +2 Longsword. So if I wanted like a +2 Longsword of something, I could read that brand weapon scroll on it, and it gives it a random brand like protection or you know, whatever. Oh my, lots of stuff. So if I cast Spire, if it, say in the old days, I could just put it here. Nowadays, it might show up here, it might show up here, or it might show up here, which would be a problem. But what the heck? Maybe I'll do one of these stupid golems. What the heck? And then bring some other stuff out. Oh, sorry, I meant to do a Spire there. This is going well. So Orc Priests, the problem with them is they can smite you, and they don't need line of sight. So pain, I guess they have pain, yeah. So there's a bunch of stuff between me and him, but he can still just merrily smite me. So, and then we've got an Orc Warrior coming, and a White with a Battle Axe, so maybe we'll just take this opportunity to run away. Oh, it looks like our Golem's about to go. Oh, there it went. Yeah. How old is DCSS? That is a good question. I've been playing it for about 10 years now. Well, let's look it up through the magic of the internet. So it started out as a game called Linley's Dungeon Crawl in 1995. First released to the public in 1997. So he put it out, and you know, it was just a basic downloadable executable game. And then the dev team at some point picked it up, and it became Stone Soup. And there's all these devs, and they're always making changes, which sometimes piss you off, but other times you can, you know, the older versions are still there. So, you know, if you still want to play them, you can. So yeah, so it looks a lot different than it used to, but yeah, the basics of the game are still, yeah, based on that. And here's a shitload of, let's see, we'll do a Golem, what the heck? And a Lightning Spire. Your Golem's not really doing too much, is it? It's better if you're like in a corridor. Out in the open, it's a little tricky. And of course, if you stand next to it, when it decides to go off, that can be a problem. I think it started, it might have been, I think it started out as kind of like a downloadable game like Rogue or NetHack, that kind of thing. It wasn't, I don't think it was online until the current dev team came about. Okay, so now we have an Orc Priest, a Orc Wizard, and these stupid things. Melii, they also can smite you, like this guy. So again, she could smite, he, they, whatever. Doesn't need line of sight. These could both smite me. And I'm confused, which means I'm just going to stumble around. So I need to burn a potion of curing. Oh, good. 2 Melii and 2 Orc Wizards. Yeah, so all 3 of these could smite me. So what do we have? We don't have invisibility. I probably should have bought that potion. Yeah, it could have been on there. I'm not sure. Or something similar. There were a lot of games kind of like this, kind of early attempts to recreate Dungeons and Dragons. We do have 2 teleportations, and it might be worth it because we've explored a bunch of the floor, so we're probably going to end up back here. Again, if these all smite me, although I do have this here, let's just see what happens. Yeah, so that's the problem. This can't shoot now, but they can still happily, all 3 of them can smite me. So yeah, we're, run away, run away, run away, run away. Oh shit. I didn't think it caught up with me. So we're gonna heal wounds. Fuck. Lightning Spire. I'm gonna do a curing. It'll boost my health a little bit. Shit, what happened to my lightning spire? This is definitely not good. I should have teleported. Do I have the Ambrosia? I do. I think the Mana Viper is going to kill them. So if I Ambrosia, it might not be the worst thing in the world. It's the worst thing in the world. Curing. We need lightning spire. You back up. God damn it! What I need to do? Okay, get a bit of curing. I need to tell them to focus on him because he's the one who's smiting me. All right, we live for the moment. It's another orc, but he should not be a problem. All right, that was exciting. Another Meliai. Oh, shh. God damn it. Okay, let's just burn another curing. And if you guys would start attacking, that would be... Why is my spire not attacking? Another... Well, there you go. Such is the life in Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. I should have known with all those smiting creatures that was stupid. So yeah, I could have teleported away, or if we had that blinking scroll, I could have blinked. I had a scroll of fear I didn't know about. That would have, I should have identified it. Yeah, I had some identifies. So yeah, so that's life. So yeah, goodbye MadAsgardian. Made it to level 10. Began as a deep elf summoner, slain by Amelia. Yeah, that's kind of unlucky to run into them on level 8. That's kind of rare for them. So anyways, that's Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. I will do some more of these at some point for sure. But for now, I am hungry, so I am leaving. So yeah, it's fun. Sorry if I ignored the chat. I don't have I have to kind of rely on my iPad. So it's a little bit tricky, but I will have a second screen here sooner or later. So yeah, we'll definitely do more of these. There's a ton of different classes and backgrounds, ton of different magic. There's some fun summons, like you can summon, these giant tentacles from the netherworld, or, ugly things, or Dragon's Call is a fun one. You basically just cast a spell and then all these dragons just start showing up and kicking people's asses. Yes, probably taco time. So yeah, that was it. That is my inaugural Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup stream. Hope you liked it, and yeah, we will definitely do this again sometime. Later. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.